If you've ever asked yourself, why can I just stick to the diet? This video is for you. I'm gonna tell you exactly the real reason behind it, and it's not you being lazy or not disciplined enough, because I used to think that too. Hi, my name is Martina and I am food freedom fat loss coach. For over 12 years, I struggled with bulimia and horrible relationship with food. I was constantly starving myself, jumping from one diet to another and never actually see results. And my eating disorder was getting worse and worse and worse every time I jumped from one diet to another, hoping that this time it's going to work. I thought that maybe if I'm going to be more disciplined, more strict, and just avoid certain foods, I will finally be happy, get results, and love my body. But I was so far away from the truth. So if this resonates with you and you've been stuck in this cycle, you're not alone, and I'm going to walk you through exactly step by step how to get out of this vicious cycle that is so exhausting and so tiring. I started with dieting when I was a teenager, and quite honestly, that was mainly because I constantly compared myself, my body, to other girls in the class, and because I am curvy girl, I'm European, I hated my body. I hated my hips, I hated my shape, and I always compared myself to others, wanted to be skinny. That's all I wanted. So I jumped from one diet to another. I tried different things, and eventually I developed a bulimia when I was 17 because I knew nothing about nutrition. My body was all confused from all the diets, and I was constantly putting on weight. So then I discovered that if I go and purge after food, that would help me, and that would be the fix that I needed to finally be skinny. I was wrong. The worst part was that I actually was hiding this horrible eating disorder that I was dealing with for 12 years from everyone. My parents had no idea about it. My sister had no idea about it. And the day that I told my ex-boyfriend that that's something I struggle with, he completely shut me down and told me that if I'll do it one more time, he's gonna break up with me. So at that moment, I completely built a wall and didn't want to talk to anybody because I felt so ashamed, because I thought that if this person doesn't support me, someone that I lived for 3 years with and had a relationship with and thought that he loves me, how could I trust anybody else? So from that day, I was literally hiding it from everyone, including my parents. I was so exhausted, I was so tired, I was constantly thinking about food and really didn't believe that there was a way out of this cycle. But finally, in 2018, I realized that I didn't need another diet, I didn't need another cleanse, I didn't need another fix. What I really needed was healing, and I just also needed to change my mindset. So now let's talk about why diet keeps you stuck. Diets create a false sense of control. We think that strict rules means that we are in control, but in reality, it sets us up for a failure. You feel in control when you're following the plan, but then when life happens, like you go on vacation, you are celebrating birthdays, you have weddings, you have just special occasions, you feel like you lost it all. I thought that I was so strong just because I always restrict. I felt like I have the willpower to say no to cake. I would be working out just to earn food, and I would obsess over every single calorie, but I thought that it was a sign of being strong. But all it did, actually, it created this so unhealthy relationship with food, my body, and exercise. I would be so good Monday to Friday, and then on the weekends I would go crazy, eat thousands and thousands of calories, and then Monday comes and I would start over again. So what I really want to talk about is that the real issue is your mindset and relationship with food. You've probably been told just to try harder or find more motivation, but the truth is that willpower isn't the problem here. It's the burnout and being exhausted from constantly following these food rules. When food feels like a constant fight, your body feels exhausted. Your mind is obsessed and you constantly feel guilty about eating foods that you've labeled bad. What you really need is just a plan that shows you how to eat like a normal human being. And the problem is that we've done so many diets that we almost lost an idea of like how actually normal food and meal plan and balanced diet look like? If you're anything like my clients, like all of these that I work with and help them exactly go from point A to point B, struggling with horrible relationship with food, hating the way their body looks, constantly starving, constantly feeling tired and exhausted, to now being absolutely unstoppable and having this food freedom, you probably feel like, oh my gosh, this is so me. And I can't even imagine how life without obsessing over food would look like. You just simply need a plan where you don't have to choose between losing weight and enjoying life. So now your question is, Martina, what should I do instead? Because all I know is restrictions and dieting. Number one, you need to stop labeling food as good and bad. When you take the morality out of food, you take the guilt away too. A cookie is a cookie. It doesn't mean you failed if you had 1, 2, 3, or even 5. What matters is what you do consistently, not what you do once. And remember, you're allowed to eat foods you love and still reach your goals. Number 2, focus on adding instead of restricting. Instead of asking, what do I need to cut out? Ask yourself instead, am I eating enough protein? Am I getting fiber and water? Am I moving my body in a way that feels good? Or do I treat my workout as punishment for what I ate? When you build your days around fueling your body instead of punishing it, everything will change. And lastly, your plan has to work for your life, for your lifestyle, not your friend's Karen. You need to feel comfortable with everything you're doing instead of feeling like this is a punishment. I do this for 12 weeks and once the 12 week is done, I'm going to do what? Go back to your old lifestyle? No. And that means that your plan will include things like, I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna remember memories over macros. I have a celebrations, I'm going for birthdays, I'm gonna enjoy a cake and maybe a glass of champagne. That's okay. That is the real approach. That is the real plan that you need to keep in mind, because if you constantly feel like you are on the diet, the only thing you think about is when this is going to end. And this creates this horrible obsessive cycle where you are not doing this because you want to look great, feel great, enjoy your life. This feels actually like a punishment and not like something that you can do for the rest of your life. And at the end of the day, if you cannot imagine what you're doing now that's helping you to lose weight to do for the rest of your life, it's literally only a matter of the time where you're going to fail, go back to your old eating habits, restricting, binging, and feeling guilty about all the foods that you're eating that you're labeling bad. I always tell my clients, if you can see yourself doing this a year from now, it's not the right plan. I work with so many people who's been exactly where you are. One of my clients was absolutely terrified eating almonds because one of the other coaches she worked in the past told her that almonds are fat and they will make her fat. When we started working together, she ended up eating so much more food and she's been losing weight and getting in the best shape of her life while she was eating all the foods that she was so terrified to put in her mouth because she had this misconception that they are making her fat. Another client of mine tried keto, fasting, all these crazy cleanses, and nothing worked for her until she joined my program, and now she is down over 15 pounds, eating so much more food, feeling the best she's ever felt. And really, once you stop all these extreme approaches and focus on balance, allowing yourself to eat foods like this without the guilt, you will see a result and you will be so much happier. If you're stuck in this all or nothing mindset, I see you. It's not your fault. And you don't need to be more disciplined. You just need a new approach. The one that is built on food freedom and not food fear. If this video resonates with you, drop a comment, food freedom, and I will send you a guide that helped me to overcome my eating disorder and that has exactly step by step on how I did it. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe, because I post videos helping you how to lose weight, how to heal your relationship with food and not lose your mind while you're doing that. I'll see you in my next video.